Hey everyone, Andrew here, bringing you another video review, and today we're going to be doing another video game review, and that will be part of the Elder Scrolls series, Skyrim, for the Xbox 360. Now, Skyrim. Like I said before, Skyrim is part of the Elder Scrolls series, and it is the sequel of sorts to Oblivion. Now, when it comes down to the Elder Scroll games, I've played a little bit of Morrowind, although I never actually owned it. I played a bit over my friend's house. And then I have Oblivion, and I played Oblivion. So I was actually pretty psyched up for Skyrim because I enjoyed both games. Although they did have their minor faults here and there, they were really just minor faults, and overall they were fun games. So going into Skyrim, I had high expectations. Let's just see if Skyrim can live up to those expectations. Now, Skyrim is set, I believe, at minimum 100 years after Oblivion. The actual time frame eludes me right now. It's not really that important, but it takes place several years after Oblivion. It could actually be 1,000 years. I don't know. I mean, whatever. Anyway, so it's set after Oblivion is set in Skyrim, which is the uppermost mountain regions of the Elder Scrolls universe. And the basic concept of the story is that your character, no matter what your character is, a girl, a boy, a human, or Imperium, a Nord, or a lizard folk, or a Khajiit, doesn't really matter, you are a Dragonborn who is imbued with the power to speak dragon and kill dragon and absorb their souls. Now, dragons have been desolate and very few in recent centuries. However, they started suddenly reappearing, and you find out that the head honcho of all dragons, Alduin, is behind all of it. Alduin is this ancient dragon, one of the first, and he can resurrect dragons back from the dead, which is kind of interesting because you kill a lot of dragons. Why doesn't he just resurrect them again? Anyways, it is your job to work with either the Blades or the Greybeards or whoever you feel like working with and find a way to defeat Alduin once and for all. Now, of course, being an Elder Scrolls game, there is several different side quests that you can go about doing. Now, what makes this different from Oblivion? Well, there's a few changes. First and foremost is that the leveling system is a little bit more akin to Fallout 3, where you get perks rather than you get to level up certain areas like strength or dexterity or constitution and so on and so forth. You can level up maybe your armor, or you can level up your conjuring, or you can level up your sneak. Various different things like that. It's more of a perk base than anything. In addition to that, you also get the ability to dual wield weapons and dual wield spells. If you can combine the spells together to make a bigger spell. And in addition to that, you also have the ability to do dragon shouts, which are in essence just another kind of magical spell, but you get a button to use that. Those are the major differences. That, maybe the erasers that were added, and also the graphics being substantially better than Oblivion. So, with that said, we might as well jump into what I like, what I didn't like, and whether or not I recommend it. First, let's do what I like. Skyrim is absolutely a beautiful game. The graphics look great on this. And now I know this isn't the full potential that they could have done with Skyrim, because they made Skyrim for the console more than they made it for the PC, but still, is a beautiful looking game. It's breathtaking sometimes just looking at the scenery. Characters look great, and that was one of my complaints with Oblivion, is your character always looked really weird and odd. With this, your character creation is really good. Just to let you know, I picked a female Nord, and I tried to make it look as close to my girlfriend as I could. But the character creation is really good in this, and the amount of characters that they have in there is great too. So aesthetically, it's a beautiful looking game. And there's a lot of things to do in this. There's a lot of adventuring. There's a lot of side questing. One of my favorite things to do is I'll have a part of the main quest on my checklist to do, and I'll be traveling to that main quest, and then I'll get sidetracked, and I'll do another quest, and then I'll get sidetracked after that quest and do another quest. There's a lot of things to do, and you don't have to focus on the main quest, which is good. If you like big open world adventures, you're going to find it here. Um, the horse. The horse is awesome. The horse can go up any terrain, no matter how steep it is. If you angle that horse correctly, by God, you can get up any terrain. There is no mountain I could not climb with my horse. I just wanted to lay that in there because the horse is awesome. The game controls, for the most part, feel right. They feel fluid. They feel comfortable. You have your triggers for your various different attacks. Then you have your cycling through. They give you the ability to select favorite spells so that you can toggle through your spells real quickly, which I didn't find out till later in the game. I knew you could favorite them, but I didn't know you could toggle through them with a D-pad. But that's really actually very helpful. So every the button layout for the control for the most part feels good in the game. Control feels fluid. The combat is a little bit better than Oblivion also, which is to be expected because this is a sequel to Oblivion. So game control for the most part good. Bad. Okay, first and foremost about the bad is the NPCs. The NPCs really bother me because they feel like machines more than NPCs. I mean, granted, they're not real people. They feel very stale. That they have very little mannerisms, if any. They have no life to them. They may get like a little bit of emotion here and there, but it's the same stuff over and over again. They seem like mindless robots. Again, mannerisms. I mean, some of them do hand gestures, but very rarely. I don't really care for the NPCs in here. There is a great level of immersion in the world, just not a great level of immersion in the characters that you interact with. Even with the ability to marry people, the people that you marry, they say like one or two things, and then they're not really that interesting. There's no point to it other than get to the achievement. Make a little extra cash on the side and have the ability to buy stuff from your spouse, but really it's kind of a it's unnecessary. The immersion with the NPCs is a little. Skyrim on a whole is a very, very, very easy game. With the exception at the very beginning when I was challenging things clearly higher levels than I should be challenging. The game is very easy and it can you can go through it really quickly. The main quest and even the side quests you can start going through pretty quickly. You can easily break this game too. But you could do that with Oblivion too. After a while, you get so powerful that you can basically own Skyrim. Uh, the main story was boring as hell. Now, a lot of people, and a lot of people I've talked to, said, well, it's not the main story that makes an Elder Scroll game. No, it's not. I mean, a lot of side quests make an Elder Scroll game, but the main story is still the main story. It's still something that should be important. I was bored half to death with the main story. There was one point where I'm at a peace conference so that we can all unite to help defeat Alduin, and I just started selecting random answers, and it's like it didn't even matter because I unified the people. Hey, look at that. Random answers help me unify people. The main story, there's nothing there. And Alduin is the most anticlimactic bad guy, final boss there is. I'm sure there's stronger things than Alduin, but for the main quest, he was pretty disappointing. The last big bad I could say about this is the fact that it doesn't really do anything at all. Anything at all to make itself stand out or anything new. Okay, so we got dual wielding weapons. All you're doing is you're giving me another weapon. Oh, so we can dual wield spells. All you're doing is giving me another spell. Oh, I can merge my spells. Well, it's just a little bit more powerful than my previous spells. Oh, you allow me to do dragon shouts. Those are just spells covered up and prettied up and given a different name. They even have some of the same effect as some spells do. There's not really much introduced in this game that felt like it added anything to the Elder Scrolls series. If anything, this game feels like it was rushed. There's a lot of glitches in it. It just doesn't have the level of depth that I would have to say Oblivion did. Like I said, it just didn't add anything new to the series, in my opinion. I mean, you could say, well, you can do double spells, but you're just doing another spell. It's the equivalent to like an Assassin's Creed. You get 2 Assassin Blades. Ooh, 2 Assassin Blades. Well, it's just another Assassin Blade. That's it. So, on a whole, it didn't really add anything new to the Elder Scrolls series. Whether or not you should get it. Well, I'm making Skyrim out to be like it's a bad game. And Skyrim is in no way, shape, or form a bad game. At all. It's a good game. But that's all it really is. It's a good game. It is nowhere near Game of the Year worthy. This game feels rushed. It feels like they were trying to get it out on a certain time frame. You know what I like about what Blizzard does and what Nintendo does and most companies do? They do this. When will our game be ready? When it's done. We don't set certain time dates. You can complain all you want about how long Diablo 3 is taking, or you can complain how long it takes for a Zelda game when it gets pushed back and back. But when you buy those games, whew, you know those games are done and they're full of content and everything's cleaned up. You didn't get this with Skyrim. Skyrim is an okay game. It's fun. It's enjoyable. I enjoy myself with it, but I'm not going to play it more than once, maybe twice, because I kind of want to make Khajiit. But it really was actually kind of a letdown. It was really kind of a letdown. Which, for the first few days, I was really pumped and hyped for this game, and then it just got boring. I started going through the motions. Even the most hardcore of Elder Scroll game fans that I have as friends, a few in particular, most of them are starting to get bored with it too. One of them downright hates Skyrim. I wouldn't say Skyrim is hateful. I still think it's a good game, and I still think there's a level of enjoyment in this. But if I had to give it a score out of 10, and I know some people will smite me down with Fury's Vengeance, I'll give this a solid 7. There's a lot. The thing is Skyrim has a lot of good. Don't get me wrong, but it has a lot of bad in it, and the bad and the good equal out. So. Pick it up when it goes down in price. That's the best thing I can recommend. And I even recommend more go for the PC version because I heard the PC version is better. You get more downloads and more things you can do. Um, so yes, Skyrim. A little disappointed. Still a good game, but it's nowhere near what people are making it out to be. If you take away all the glamour and the glitz of the graphics and you actually look hard at the game, you find out that the game isn't anything special. So, with that said, I'm going to end this review here. This is Andrew saying peace out for now.